Elvis Presley has just returned from his stint in the army, having gotten his stripes as a sergeant. In Lagos, nightlife is popping, Bobby Benson is everywhere, people are joyfully preparing for independence. You as a child don't know any of that, of course. You're just happy to go with your parents to a protest march in Sharpeville, South Africa. And the protest turns into a sort of celebration at some point during the day, and by 1:30 p.m. all of that changes because all of a sudden the police opened fire. There's 92 people dead. Among those, 29 children. Many of them shot in the back as they're trying to flee. This happened 66 years ago, the Sharpeville massacre. The leader of the opposition of the House of Reps, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, urges the Nigerian government to take action against apartheid South Africa. They move to ban imports from South Africa. They move to expel the South African Dutch Reformed Church from Nigeria. At their first ever appearance in the Commonwealth Head of Government meeting, they tabled the matter again and emphasized the need to end colonialism and the apartheid government of South Africa following the Sharpeville massacre. The propaganda against the oppressive regime of apartheid South Africa was so strong, they even called on the United Nations Security Council to remove South Africa as a member. Although that didn't succeed, they were at the forefront. What did we not do? A fund known as the South African Relief Fund SAF was used to assist in the struggle. Civil servants were voluntarily giving 2% of their salaries to the struggle. The military head of state at one point, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, even used his own personal funds and mandated that all members of his cabinet also contributed. That government contributed $7 million. The South African Youth Revolutionary Council was recognized by the federal government of Nigeria, and they were given scholarships, they were given aid, all in support. So Nigeria really sacrificed human and material resources. But when Sani Abacha arrested and killed the Ogoni 9, a blatant disregard for human rights, Nelson Mandela was at the forefront calling for sanctions against Nigeria. Of course, it was a blatant human rights violation, and Nigeria did deserve to be punished for that. But the retribution did not stop. Nigeria reciprocated by withdrawing its national team from the Nations Cup being hosted in South Africa, and also refused to send its team to South Africa for the Mandela Cup. Perhaps it was at this point the fissure began to appear. A little bit of mischief, but the handshake soon extends beyond the elbow, and the President Nelson Mandela, recalls the South African High Commissioner to Nigeria. He calls for US and UK sanctions on Nigerian oil.
There's a simmering malice, and even
Chief Olusegun Obasanjo is accused by a Johannesburg radio station of illegally bringing in cocaine during Thabo Mbeki's inauguration. Of course, they later recant, but the damage has already been done. And we all know that there are some individuals who run foul of the law, but there are many more law-abiding Nigerian citizens in South Africa. Over the years, the relationship between South Africa has drifted from spirited rivalry to something far darker. It's no longer banter at this point. People are being in the streets. The xenophobia is at an all-time high. And when we turn on each other, we should ask, who benefits from all of this? Not us. It is the heirs of apartheid, the profiteers of unchecked capitalism, using chaos as a ladder. The imperial machine itself that only thrives on division. We should ask ourselves these questions.